Well, hello everyone. Hello. It's me, it's Gregory, the one and only. And we're back tonight with another live stream, and this time it's just a chatting stream. Yes. Oh, I've been waiting a few days for this. You may see that this time the title is a little different. Well, it's a little different. Usually with a Wednesday night stream, it would simply just say Wednesday night stream, and that's it. But this time, it's a little different because this time around. This time around, there is a dividing bar there, and not only that, there is an exclamation mark in socials. Oh, what's that about? Well, that is something new that I have added to the streams. It's something called StreamElements. Well, pretty much every big streamer has that, so I went ahead and added that as well. That means that when you cheer, for example, there should be a pop-up on the screen, and if you have a message associated with it, it will also read it out aloud. At least it should do that. For me, it's completely untested, but oh well, it is what it is. So, yeah, it's a little bit noisy outside today, but that's perfectly fine. I guess I'm not too bothered by it. I actually hope you can't hear it, because you never know. So, yeah, that's that. Ooh, my laptop's deciding to turn on the turbojets. I've also added some new music this time around to the music list. I used to have two songs, both from both that were pretty much included with Stream Deck, with the Stream Deck software, but there was this particular song from Farming Simulator 19. I know, very cringy, but that just, well, that particular song just had something. It just had something, and it's actually, and if you've been on the stream since the very first second, the first 3 minutes or so, when the countdown was still running. Yes, that's also something new, an actual countdown. You may or may not have heard it. Beans. The Working Joe says beans. Yes, beans. The Working Joe, you wanna hear? Do you wanna hear the new song that I've added to the song list? I don't know if you have heard it already, but I wouldn't mind just pressing the button and so it'll play again. I could do that. Sure. Okay. Hey, here it comes up. It's called Bargain Hunters. It's, believe it or not, it's from Farming Simulator 19. In my opinion, it's stuck around, so I figured, why not? And to me, it's being a bitch again, but to me, it's being a bitch again. I don't know, some very, very slight technical issues. It's technical issues, very slight. Something with sound. I don't think it's really noticeable. I don't think it's noticeable on your side. It's more from the monitor side. It's being kind of being a bitch. So, but I guess that's more of my side, software wise. I'll figure it out. Didn't have the time to fix that. So, you like the FS22 one better? I don't think this one even is an FS22. I came across it because because I transplanted it from FS19 to FS22. So, and then I realized. Then I was listening to it, and I was like, damn, this is actually kind of catchy. So, so I figured the startup menu theme for FS22 is, in your opinion, better. I can see where that comes from. I can see where that comes from. So do you have a particular topic you would like like me to talk about? Maybe you've done the impossible. What is the impossible that you've done? I'm really curious. What's the impossible thing that you have done? You actually harvested something. What did you harvest, my friend? What did you harvest? Oh wow, the Discord. You harvested grain. Nice. That's a real accomplishment. Not everyone manages to do that. Okay, this you just gotta see. This you just gotta see. So Discord has this thingy, and right over here, this particular where my mouse cursor is at, Discord really chose an excellent preview point. A really good preview point is that. Yeah, there you go. I do not count the idiot thing with the little harvester on field 64. Harvesting a field is still harvesting a field, regardless of what you're doing it with. Is there a particular? Besides telling me about that you have done the impossible and etc., is there a particular topic you would like me to talk about? You would love to see. You would love to have a rant about Apple being able to sell a suppository as a phone camera. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. Okay. So you want me to rant about Apple? Okay. Okay. I think I got a great example. Let me just look it up. See, I dislike Apple so much. I actually even type it with a R instead of an E at the end. It should be in their accessories list. Hold on. Studio display. No. It's not the studio display. There is something even more ridiculous in their lineup. So some may already know where I'm going at with this. Let's see, where is it? Oh wow, okay. Not completely related, or not completely related, but seriously. Magic trackpad, magic mouse, magic keyboard with Touch ID and numeric keypad. Are you fucking kidding me? There's nothing magic about your damn Apple products. It's just, look at the mouse. It's literally a recycled mouse from a design they've had all the way back in 2007. Or whatever the hell that particular shape first came out. Like, what the actual F? I mean, $1,600 for a display, okay, that's not too terrible. But excuse me? Okay. So this is the most ridiculous part. Yeah? According to this, you have to buy the stand separately. The polishing the wheels. Hey, do you know where the charging port is? Tell me, where's the charging port? But quite literally, $1,600 for a tilt adjustable stand. Are you freaking kidding me? Or a tilt and a height adjustable stand, $1,999. You're literally, are they literally asking their customers to pay $2,000 for a bloody tilt and height adjustable stand? Where's the rotation bin? If you're gonna make people pay $2,000 for a monitor stand, at least make it be able to turn. My monitor, the monitor I have right now, including the stand, has most likely a the stand is even VESA compatible. It's a superior stand to what they have. The monitor and mount combination only cost me $1,000. And you're asking $2,000 for an entire, for just merely a tilt and height adjustable stand. Seriously? So that's the problem with Apple. You don't pay for the product, you pay for the name. Charging port on the famed Magic Mouse is on the bottom. Oh god, yeah. They still haven't fixed that. Like Apple, what the fuck? Why? Just why? I have a wireless mouse. Guess what? It can charge wirelessly. Apple, is it really that hard to make your mouse to be able to charge wirelessly? Like, literally. Come on. It just does not make any sense. Ridiculously. That's why I will never get Apple. Not for myself, at least. The Working Joe says, and want to know something else about the studio display? Well, come on, shoot. Let's rant about the studio display. Oh my god. The power cable is soldered in place and non-replaceable. If that okay, people, if that doesn't scream anti-consumer to you, then I don't know what will. That's so anti-consumer. I wouldn't even buy a piece of hardware that has its power cable soldered in place, especially when it comes to computers. It just straight up isn't right. It just straight up isn't right. I know a bunch of little Apple facts. May I join you in a Discord call? Not right now, I'm in the middle of a stream, buddy. Bloody hell. If you have any other topics you'd like me to talk about, please, by all means, just throw it in the chat. Why do you think JD is superior? I don't think I've ever specifically said that JD is superior. While it is known that especially particular models of John Deere tractors have been known to be extremely reliable, I wouldn't necessarily say that John Deere is superior. Every tractor, every manufacturer has its fair share of problems. And it really just comes down to preference. What about you? What do you think about JD? That's the question I was looking for. What do you think about JD? Stay down. Okay, while it's a little quiet, I will just talk about the StreamElements stuff. Oh, I'm not a massive fan of them. Not gonna lie. Their older models look pretty good, but the new ones look so ugly with a gigantic nose and depressed looks. To each their own opinion. Actually, I do prefer the pre 2020 models, definitely. The 7R Gen 2 and especially the 8R Gen 2. Well, sure they got updated. I wouldn't necessarily say they have improved in terms of looks. Oh, you found a new favorite vehicle to drive? What's your new favorite vehicle? In Pluger AT5104. What exactly is that? Look it up, you dingus. Well, you're telling me about it. But oh well, I'll look it up. Oh, it's that thing. It's a pretty big. It's if I'm looking for a word. I think it's a slurry a slurry machine. A slurry machine. See if I can get a good photo of it. Well, albeit they would be in Dutch, but basically that is a oh, that's not what I meant to do, but basically there's an open link. Oh, there you go. Open image in a new tab. That's what I was looking for. Basically that is the AT5104. Let me guess, it's your new favorite vehicle to drive because it's big. Slurry tank thing. Short wheelbase, 4-wheel steering, 40 kilometers an hour of top speed. That ain't too bad. If I'm talking about speedy tractors, it's you definitely gotta check out the JCBs. Looks like a big nugget, right? So let me tell you about something that's new. Actually, let me just demonstrate it in the chat real quick. And nothing's happening, of course. What the actual F? What the hell, StreamElements? Though it should work for you though. Just if you if I'm not mistaken, if you type exclamation mark, oh wait, that was my mistake. I did social, not socials. There you go. It's socials and Mr. S. That was my mistake. If you type exclamation mark socials, you basically get the StreamElements bot puts in a link to my link tree, which basically literally includes all of my social media links, including my Discord servers. Yes, plural. I got two, but only one of them is dedicated to only one. You have to go. Go for now. Talk to you later, man. Talk to you later, man. Thanks for joining. But in the link tree there are two links to Discord servers. One of which goes to the Discord server of the GTG Mods team, which is a modding team that I manage, and the other one, the Gregory Gamers Game Hub, is actually specific to Twitch and to my Twitch and my YouTube channels. So it is specific to that. And as I mentioned, it should now be possible that when someone, for example, follows me or subscribes to me, or raids or hosts me, or tips / donates to me, or cheers, a pop-up will appear on the screen. So, like all the other bigger streamers. I'm still figuring it out, but I think I've got it sorted a little. So in that regards, that should be sorted. Guess what? I forgot to take a leak before I went ahead and stream. But that's fine. I don't really have to go. I don't really have to go and take a leak. No, I don't have to. In case you did, I'm right now I'm literally pulling up a notepad that I wrote for today's stream, which has five topics in it for me to talk about. And one of them says talk about the theft and what law enforcement has done. And if you don't, and I'm saying the theft, and you may wonder, hey, what's that? What's the theft? Well, the theft took place last year, literally. If I recall correctly, it was November 24th or November 25th, either one of them. At around 11:24 p.m., I got robbed with violence. I got threatened to death, and my PC got stolen. I still don't have my PC back. I've been on limp mode for the past year. Quite literally speaking, productivity wise, that PC had everything to do with my modding career, with my modding career, and that PC is also, for example, if you go to my YouTube channel, the first two American Truck Simulator streams, they were made on my PC. So yeah. Before I actually properly managed to figure out how to correctly configure OBS and stuff. So yeah, to add to that, the point also says, and what law enforcement has done. It's now nearly a year later. nearly 12 months later, and well, a little less than 11 months actually, which is horrifically slow, by the way. Horrifically slow for starters. I of course did. I of course made a declaration, and I have stated that I wanted the damaged goods. Basically, that means the goods that were stolen. The goods that were stolen and emotional damage, stuff like that. I did state that I wanted a hefty sum for that, because they should pay for what they did. Turns out, turns out there. It turns out you can get away with that kind of stuff here, committing that kind of crimes. And if you the crime specifically was actually the crime specifically, well, I got robbed in my own place with violence, and I got threatened to death. They want they I When they came in, I recorded them. I have a recording of that on my phone. I'm not going to show it to you. I'm probably never gonna show it to you, but maybe I will. I don't know. It's too early to tell still. But basically, they saw that I recorded them. So, out of natural instinct, what would any thief want to do? A little, smaller sized man like me, probably scared shitless, which somehow I wasn't actually, but okay. But I didn't. Maybe that's the wrong term to use now. I wasn't panicking. That's the correct term. I wasn't panicking. And well, I think that spooked them, but they obviously thought I was an easy target. They thought wrong, because I wouldn't give up my phone, even if it meant that I die. I wouldn't give up my phone, because why the hell would I? So yeah. Now, about 11 months later, the verdicts are in about the perpetrators. The verdicts are in. Should I say little less than a year? They get a little less than a year jail time. That's all I am willing to say. I'm not going to go into any specifics, because I don't know what's legal and what isn't on that regard. But a little less than a year, and quite frankly, I find that unacceptable. But the judge's decision was permanent. There is no way I could. There's no way that I can, fight it. There's no way I can go like, hey, this isn't right. This needs to change. I can't do that. Not because I don't want to, because trust me, I really do want to do that. No, but actually because of the fact that stupid laws prohibit me from doing that. So when I got a letter this afternoon, when I read the letter this afternoon, I got pissed, real pissed. Yeah, I don't take that kind of stuff well, especially because it's such a sensitive spot. No, not spot. Such a sensitive subject. Such a sensitive subject. So, yeah, but basically, what has law enforcement done? Well, the law enforcement themselves, like the police, they were really fast. They were apprehended within a week. So yeah, they were really fast. Well, they never found my PC back, but I guess that sucks. That really sucks. But it's the law bit that was really disappointing. So yeah. So what does that mean for me? And then we get to the second point and what I have on my stream bulletin, which says talk about what the theft meant for me. Well, basically what the theft itself, the event itself didn't mean anything to me. I mean, sure, it is a trauma you go through, but you know, you get over that. What I still can't get over, however, is the fact that I lost a piece of equipment that I spent 5 years, literally 5 years, to build to my liking. That has a piece of equipment that has helped me through my worst period. Like literally, it has helped me through the period that I was suicidal. Now we're talking about like 3 years ago. So yeah, and it was also the piece of equipment that I literally did all of my work on. I did some YouTube on it, and I did rendering on it. I made 3D models on it, made textures on it. I did everything with it. Everything that people know me for as a modder for BeamNG Drive, I did that on that system. Up until this year. Up until that day of 2021. Since then, I've literally been running in limp mode. I cannot exacerbate, or is that the correct word? Exacerbate? No, it's not exacerbate. It's elaborate. I cannot elaborate just how much of an effect that has had on my daily motivation and inspiration to do any type of modding work. See, that very day that it happened, I was literally finishing up an update for the Garfield T-Series expansion pack. Literally finishing it up. But then 2 hours later, my door gets smashed in 3 pieces. 8 kicks is all it took. 8 kicks. 3 pieces, down it went, and gone it was. So, yeah. But I cannot, but then I get back to the point of that I cannot elaborate. The part that I cannot elaborate is just how much of an impact going back to a system that has 50% of the actual computational capacity of what that system had. I cannot elaborate what a negative impact that has had on my modding career, especially. In 2021, we as the GG Mods team, we were very well on track with steady updates every 2 months. We were developing new projects up until that point. And yes, we've tried coming back to it this year, but it's been just insanely hard to do because I just don't have the motivation anymore. What the hell? I just heard something from either inside the house or outside. I don't know. I don't live alone, by the way. Uh, but it's just downright. It's just downright disturbing to me. Just that a particular system can have that much of an effect on your can have that big of an effect on whether or not you actually want to do something. I've been trying my absolute best, but it's just been when I've been doing things, I have literally had to force myself to do it. It's that bad. It it was the modding BMG Drive. It was my life. I did that for well over 40 hours a week. I did it like 9 hours a day, 5 days a week, and I did that every week. That gave us the ability to accomplish a lot in a very short period of time. But that is just no longer the case, because while I still technically do have the time, I just do not have the motivation or even the inspiration to do it. When I finally get myself to, get myself in the mood for it, and then I'm like, I don't know, what the hell should I make? So, yeah, kind of disappointing in that regard. Life sucks. Life sucks. That's the best thing I can say about it. Life just sucks, especially when not everything is in your control. I should add, especially when not everything is in your control. So, man, what a world we live in, huh? Well, anyway, I also have a bulletin point in here saying that I should talk about my room. But there is not really a lot to see. I mean, that right there is my mining rig, and well, that's my bed, quite literally. There's a door, and to the left and to the left, I mean, to this side, so to my left, and probably to your right, is where I have a bunch of cabinets and closets, and my servers also, like, right over there. So there's not really a lot to talk about. However, I could do a server tour one day. Probably not on that. Well, most likely it won't happen on Twitch though. That will most definitely, most definitely be on YouTube. There most definitely be a YouTube video. Yeah, most definitely be a YouTube video. And them cryptocurrencies, it's stuff has stabilized a bit. But profits are just terrible. Like, profits are just terrible. Then I have I then have a special arrangement. I basically don't have to pay for power, so I can basically, if I really want to, I could leave the rig running like all the freaking time, and I smack the curtain. I could technically leave it running like all the time, but yeah, for 50 cents a day, yeah, not really sure. You see, before Ethereum went proof of stake, it's raked in anywhere between $4 to $6 and $4 to $6 a day. That's just 50 bloody cents on average. That's just plain disappointing. And when I said that profits would plummet by 75%, I knew I was right. Jesus. I didn't sleep a lot last night. Rather, I didn't sleep at all because yesterday I woke up at like 6:30 p.m. No joke. So I have technically been awake for more than 24 hours. So yeah. Like being awake for more than 24 hours and then you have to do a stream on a Sunday. No, kidding. I like doing these streams. I don't mind doing them. So I may or may not do a room tour, but when I'm going to do a room tour, my room will look, well, very different to not very different probably, but there will be some. Pardon me. There will be some major changes before I will even consider doing a room tour. Like I want to put up shelves on the wall, but like one over there and there and there and yeah. Anyway, on that wall, I want to put some shelves up under the curtain that you see there. That curtain. There you go. That curtain. I want right under there. I also want to put up a shelf because that is a great spot. And I'll be right back. That will make a great spot of this thing. Like legit a great spot. That would literally put it, I don't know, that would literally put it in the sun all the freaking time. Plants like sun, especially these kind of plants. So especially those kind of plants. It's a ficus or a ficus or ficus, whatever. However the hell you're supposed to pronounce it. I got it. Someday someone gave it to me, and I've just been giving it water every single day, and just kept growing and growing. It's like 3 times the size of what it used to be. So I guess I'm doing a good job. Anyway, that, and also want to put up some sound paneling, like literally right behind my monitor, because I did some well, tidying up is a better word. I did some tidying up of my room today, and boy, the echoes have returned a bit. The reverb. So I'm gonna need some mild sound dampening. Some mild sound dampening, because if I can hear, I can't right now. I don't notice it, but I'm a ventriloquist. I sometimes I talk to myself out loud, and trust me, I'm not a psychopath. Don't worry about it. But basically, when I do that, I literally hear the reverb. So consider me crazy or not, whatever. It's a perfectly normal thing, trust me. Just not all people think it's normal. But yeah, put on some sound paneling, and also I want to replace my light fixture. Not the actual light itself, the actual fixture. because right now this light fixture has capacity for only one light bulb, but I want a light fixture that has a capacity for three. And partially why is, well, I got I got an additional two light bulbs laying around, because the previous place I was in had a light fixture with three bulbs, so there's that. So, and when I moved here, this room only has a fixture for one light bulb, so I'm gonna want to replace that with one that has three lights. I don't know if it's gonna be a circular one yet, or it's gonna be a rectangular one. I have no idea. Definitely not one with a diffuse styling into it. Simply because the reason why I want more lights is because I want more light. In case you didn't notice, there is some, I can definitely see it even in this like teeny tiny portion in the screen right in front of me, because I've literally put my OBS right beneath the camera. That's why I pretty much look straight at the camera all the time, because it's literally right beneath it. I can even on this teeny tiny little a preview of in OBS that's literally like, I don't know, 1/10 the size of the entire screen. I can still see the actual I can still see the actual light and the actual camera grain, film grain, whatever it's noise, whatever you like to call it. I can still see that, and you most likely can as well. It only makes sense, of course. And part of that is because it's 720p. Yes, it's a 1080p stream, but when you're seeing me in this particular scene, it's 720p because this camera only does 1080p at like 30 frames per second, and I do want a 60 fps thing. So, but when I play games, it's definitely 1080p. Trust me on that one. It doesn't really matter as much anymore when I'm just a teeny tiny little thing in the corner. So, yeah. Yeah. So, more light basically means that this webcam, and if you're wondering which one it is, it's in the about me section, or anyway, if you're watching this stream, like on the actual stream page itself, you can scroll down and you probably see you probably see a little peripherals thingy, and it will say what camera I got, and but I will say it regardless. I am using the Razer Stargazer. I didn't have a webcam before, and my very nice brother just happened to have this particular camera laying around. So I jumped at the opportunity and took it in. Took it because he didn't have any use for it, because he isn't a streamer, and I want to become a streamer. At least, well, technically I am a streamer now, but no. But a really crappy one. Okay, that was just a shitty thing for me to say. But anyway, point is. Point is, more lights means this now relatively outdated camera has less trouble making a clear image. And it makes the overall scene look a little better, because especially when I do this, and especially when I do this, you can see, and holy shit, it's blue AF. But you can actually legitimately see that my monitor, which is, by the way, set to just 30% brightness, is bright enough to literally lighten up my entire face. Like for real, come on. So I definitely need more light in here. And when I'm done with the stream, I can just dim the lights to, I don't know, like 25%. That's nine, with 3 lights in a space like this. That's bright enough. It's not really a big room, so 3 lights is actually overkill. But whatever. Oh, this is a much more natural. That's a much more natural tone. Anyway, that being said, it that being said, a better camera would definitely help out with it. Don't get me wrong, I am saving up for a camera. I'm saving up for a hell of a lot of things, and not to be completely fair, I just can't afford any of it. But yeah, here I am, the good old Netherlands, where inflation is biting everyone in the ASS. Oh shit. Oh, there it is. A little keycap thingy that I'm playing around with because I may or may not be just a teeny tiny little bit nervous because I'm just literally just talking about whatever the hell comes to mind. Because I'm absolutely fucking clueless. I'm waiting for people to join in the chat so they can send me a chat message of anything, as long as it's, adhering to the rules. But a question or anything in particular like that, well, it definitely would be really nice if it definitely would be really nice if there were some people in the chat, because then I wouldn't just be like, thinking or thinking, or sometimes just have these moments that I just don't know, like, what the hell, man, what am I supposed to say right now, because let's face it, this stream is dead. Oh well, I'm not streaming right now because, well, I'm streaming right now because I want to. I'm streaming right now because I want to. I stream on Wednesdays and Sundays at between 6 and 10 UTC. But yeah, 6 and 10 UTC. Yeah. Jesus, I'm tired. Well. I am starting to play with the keycap a little too much. I'm getting too nervous. Yeah. Anyway, I completely forgot where I was at. It's just that much on my mind, basically. Oh yeah, light. That's where I was at. I'm saving up for a lot of things. Oh God, my hair. No, I'm not. Before I digress, I'm saving up for many things. Most of which I can't even actually afford. But life's life. Yeah. But there are a fair set of upgrades and I wanna do to my room to make this room that I live and work and do everything in. Yes, even the nasty. Shit, I should never have said that. I regret saying that now, but oh well. This room is right now is not perfectly suited for doing a stream. Neither is my setup, but I'm working my way towards it to make it a really good multi-purpose studio. And eventually when I get big enough, I'm hoping, really, I'm hoping to, even just even just 100 followers, even just 100 followers, if just 100, that satisfies me. If just 100 in total, I don't know. That would be enough. That would literally be enough for me to like be like, yes, at least I know. Yes, at least I know someone's watching. Even maybe like 50 viewers. 50 viewers. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. It's not a lot, but 50 viewers. Yeah, I know. I know. Not like any of those e-girls, but come on. Let's face it. Most of the people who are even watching those e-girls are just plain and simply simping on them. I was there's a Twitch streamer. Yeah, there's a Twitch streamer. There's a Twitch streamer. I may or may not raid or host or whatever, because I sooner or later, because I can, and it helps me build a network. But it's a Twitch streamer. She's a Twitch streamer called Bebahan. Yeah. Phenomenal lady, really phenomenal. Really, it's not good looking. Good looking, and I think she lives in Australia. I don't really know, but sometimes when I listen to the streams, and then there are these folks cheering, like legitimately cheering cheering that actually creates a pop-up in the screen, and then there is AI voice Brian. Brian, and then there's this AI voice Brian that just reads, that just like, it's a text to speech, that reads the actual sentence, and then I'm listening and reading that, and then I'm like, they are simping hard. They're simping real hard. But on the other hand, the streamers, they know that. They know that nearly everyone is simping hard for them. So what do? Well, just play along with it. Of course, it's the best way to do. Just play along. Just play along with it. It's the best thing to do. If you ask my opinion, if I were a woman and I was a streamer, I would have done the exact same thing. I would have done the same exact thing. Yes. But yeah, in my experience so far, most of them are plain and simply Sims. There, I said it. Okay, there I said it. That's my opinion. They're plain and simply Sims. And no, before you start ranting on me, I do not simp. Trust me on that one. Mark my words. I do not simp. I do not simp. I literally have zero reason to even simp. Why the actual living F would I do that? Now, I have other things on my mind. I have other things on my mind. I'm preoccupied with other things. With other things. I'm just streaming right now because it's a way for me to tell my life story. It's to tell my life story, and anyway, in 14 days this will be put up on YouTube anyway. So because I'm like, I streamed it, and I don't really feel like, if someone wants to rewatch it, they can, I don't know, whenever the frick they want, like ever the fuck they want in the future. I couldn't give a damn less. If I want to rewatch one of my streams, I'm gonna rewatch one of my streams. And well, on Twitch, well, if you're not a Prime subscriber, or if you're not on Twitch Prime, you you're stuck. You're stuck with what's it called? You're stuck with if you're not a Prime subscriber, you can only watch the VODs or the past broadcasts or the past streams up to at most 7 days after they have been streamed. I know. I mean, it makes sense. And if you're a Twitch Prime user, it's up to 14 days. So what did I do? After those 14 days, that just be published off on YouTube. So yeah, but also quite literally, if I want, quite literally, I whenever I finish a stream, the first button I click is download. I want to download my streams. What do I do with them streams? Well, simple. I download them. I throw them on my server. Then I'll upload them to YouTube. Add some stuff in there. Schedule it so it releases exactly 14 days. So it releases exactly 14 days after the stream has aired on Twitch. And be done with it. That way, you want to make a stream? You want to make a clip in the future? Go right ahead, man. Go right ahead. Go right ahead, because that's why I'm doing that. I want my content to be available for at least my video content. At least my video content, like my YouTube videos and my Twitch streams. I want that stuff to be available for pretty much as long as the internet lives. As long as YouTube and Twitch are still a thing. So, as long as those file formats are still supported, you catch my drift. I want that stuff to be available essentially for forever. And I don't know, maybe you're watching this, I don't know, like 200 years in the future, and you're most likely looking at this damn. They have such shitty video quality back in 2022. Trust me, this camera is just from 2022. This is a 2016 cam. But I already talked about that. But imagine if you can still watch this in 2000. I don't know, in like 2022. That's like 200 years from now. By then, I'll be long gone. All I will be is literally a heap or a pile of bones, just rotting in the ground. Yes, bones eventually do decompose. They turn to stone. If the pressure is right, at least. You fossilize. 300 years is a bit short for that, but still, by then if I haven't been burned, I'll literally be a heap of bones. With all the kind of bone diseases, and I don't know what the hell I have, but but I don't know. I don't know. I digress. But I want my stuff. Essentially, I want my stuff, video content, to essentially be available forever, because it's the internet. It's the internet. The moment you get on the internet, every single movement you do has been recorded and will stay on there forever. No, it will not be on there forever. Yes, it will be on there forever. Trust me, it will be on there forever. Quite literally. So that's the danger of the internet. If you go on the internet, especially nowadays, be extremely careful. Please, for the love of yourself, be careful on the internet. It's such a dangerous place. I'm not the youngest nor the oldest. I turn 20 next week. Not next week. What the hell? I wish. Next year, in June next year, I turn 20. So that makes me 19. Hell, my age is literally in the literally. Oh my god, I can't get my words. My age is literally in the description or the about me or whatever the hell it is. And it clearly says I'm 19. But I'll let you in on a secret. I may be 19, but I wasn't born yesterday. I've been in touch with computers and the internet for well over a decade. The first Windows operating system I used was Windows XP, and on Windows XP I did explore the internet. On Internet Explorer 11. Yeah, on Internet Explorer. Fucking hell, good God, those days are over. Jesus. Don't get me wrong, Windows XP excellent, but with Microsoft Explorer, seriously though, Internet Explorer, like Internet Explorer, Jesus. Oh, the moment I found out about Chrome, I switched over, and I was like, oh, yes, Google Chrome. I'm never gonna switch. And guess what? 12 years later, I still use Chrome. So, yeah. I still use Chrome 12 years later. Fucking hell. I can drop this little thingy. Anyway, what's going on? What's going on Discord? Oh, wow. My mouse has been stationary for so long, it turned off. Yay! Oh? Luna bot? What the fuck is that? Okay. That's nothing that has to do with the stream. That much I can tell you. Anyway, I digressed and I forgot where I was at. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Fuck. Phone. Oh damn, that voice cracked. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's it. I'll tell you at what age I first got into contact with computers, with the computer. I was probably 4 or 5 years old when I first came into contact with computers. I was maybe 4 or 5 years old when I got my first computer, like legit, my first computer to play games on. I remember the kind of games way back when there was games like Trackmania, or when 2009 came around. When 2009 2010 came around, it was Real Simulator for the longest period. So yeah, if you want. So yeah, playing simulator games has always been my thing. It's always been my thing for literally over a decade. Now that I say it, it's literally over a decade. Well over 12 years now. Damn. So that just goes to show what a kind of ridiculous young age I actually first got into contact with computers. But that also has its upsides, you know. It made me get interested in computers in the first place. It made me know a thing or two about computers. Like, especially about technical specifications, a thing or two. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would not be able to literally design a microchip from the ground up, because, well, I didn't engage into it that much. But I do know what the specifications on a spec sheet mean. Like, I do know that, for example, and I do know that. Am I going to Without a doubt, I'm gonna come up with a terrible, what's it called? A terrible. Oh my god. Um, Without a doubt, I'm gonna come up with a terrible. I have the word in my head, but every time I want to say it, it just slips out of my mind. I just have a terrible example. That's it. Yeah. That was literally just me, like a Gregory.exe loading. Loading. Please wait while Gregory.exe is loading. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna come up with a terrible example, but it isn't rocket science, that an 8 core 14 nanometer a processor that has 10 billion transistors and runs at 3.6 gigahertz is going to outperform a 32 nanometer 8 core processor that also runs at 3.6 gigahertz but only has 5 billion transistors. I know it's a very, very vague example, a very terrible example, but it's kind of obvious. The more transistors you have, the more transistors you have in a particular chip, the more performance they can deliver in theory. Because say you have 10 cores, yeah, and the entire CPU has 10 billion transistors. My guess is, and really do take this with a grain of salt, because this is now an area that goes beyond my expertise, and more into like where I think it is at. But in my mind, if you have a 10 core processor with 10 billion transistors, you have 1 billion transistors in every single core, and all of those 10 billion transistors, if the CPU has a clock speed of like, I don't know, 4 gigahertz, then they switch states, then they like do something. They do something they switch states 4,000 times a second, because that's literally what hertz is. 60 hertz, 60 waves a second. That's what my display is at, 60 hertz, for Christ's sakes. Gotta upgrade to 144. Anyway, besides that, it's besides that, it's more about, it's on one hand it's pretty obvious, smaller lithography, more transistors, faster clock speeds, more cores, all of that usually equates to a generally superior processor in nearly all aspects. More efficient, higher IPC, etc., etc., etc. Good grief that the single core days are over, because that was absolute hell. Those what were those? Pentium Ds, Pentium quads? No, Pentium Ds, I think. Those things ran hot. Those are single core processors. Those are single core processors, and they ran insanely hot because they tried pushing as much performance out of a single core. And they ended up, Intel in this case, ended up ditching it because, well, obviously, there is a point of another complicated word that I can't get my mind on right now. I do know it, but Wow. Um, there is a particular point that you don't get as much for every single increase. Um, I swear, I know that word. Diminishing, that is it. There is a certain point of diminishing returns. Same goes with overclocking processes. For example, you can you can overclock a process to 5 gigahertz just fine. But if you wanted to go just 1 megahertz higher, you'd probably have to. On some chips, you legit have to crank up the voltage like by by 100 millivolts. But quite literally 100 millivolts. So yeah. Anyway, that's enough. That's enough tech talk, I suppose. Enough tech talk. I got some plans for next week actually, and you may or may not have seen my tweet come by. My tweet about oncoming. What is it? Oncoming Wednesday. That I am aiming to stream at the very least. I'm planning to stream, but I may or may not end up starting later. Guess why? Because. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Jesus. Well, basically. Basically, I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do. What the hell? No. Oh, I wish, but no. 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 No, I'm gonna go to the movies. Gonna go to the movies with someone, and it's probably the last time that I'll see her. So it's definitely an important meeting. So that definitely takes priority over my stream. So if that um, runs out, if that means I'm gonna be late, then so be it. I will stream, but probably not at 6 p.m. UTC or 8 p.m. Western European time. Simply because of that, because I have something else planned, like literally right before it. So the plan does say that I should technically be back by 7:45 or 5:45 p.m. in UTC time, which should technically give me 15 minutes to get ready for the stream. But it doesn't always go the way you want it to. So yeah. And it doesn't always go the way you want it to. So there's that. And and then for the stream for next Sunday is like usual. This week I was thinking about doing another stream, like legit, just like legit, you know. That the Thursday, literally the day following the last Wednesday night stream, I was thinking, oh, maybe I should stream again. Then I fell asleep. So, yeah, my sleeping rhythm is fucked up beyond recognition. Other days, on other days, my rhythm is perfectly fine, a 24-hour rhythm. And other days, my body somehow thinks it's 32 to 36 hours. But hold on, that doesn't work. How do you squeeze 32 or 36 hours in a 24-hour day? Well, you don't. So, yeah, you don't. So that's that, basically. So yeah, but enough talking. I'm thinking we should do we should just chat exchange. That's exactly what we're already doing, smartass. I literally just called myself a smartass. Well, I'm desperate. Am I? Aren't I? I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna take a break, prepare a coffee so I don't fall asleep on stream in the next 30 minutes because do want to continue my stream. But that does mean I will be taking a short break because I also need to hydrate my throat because it's getting a little sore. So I'm gonna put you on the hold screen. So yeah. And anyway, do not go anywhere because I'm gonna put on a little music, which hopefully in the stream itself shouldn't stutter, because it does for me, but it shouldn't in the stream. So I don't know what the hell's going on that front, but anyway, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'll that's. I will be right back. Okay, I will be right back. Just gonna put on some music. Like what about this one? Just gonna put on some music. Gonna put on some music, and I'll be right back. Yeah. See you in a second. Alright, I'm back. I'm back, folks. Yeah, I'm back. Let's stop the music. Let's stop the music. Alright, I got myself a cup of coffee, like I said I would. Fixed my hair, by the way, and I grabbed myself a glass of water because my throat needed it. My throat really did need it. And a motorcycle's outside. Nice. I can literally hear that through my headset. That just goes to this headset. Well, when it isn't playing sound, you hear things through it because it's not neither. That's a form of passive exit, isn't it? Well, wait. There we go. It doesn't have active noise cancelling. And that looked fucking weird, but whatever. It doesn't have active noise cancelling because why the actual F would you need that in a gaming headset? All it does, active noise cancelling, is it active noise cancelling literally distorts your sound. So actually, I'm happy for the fact that it doesn't have that. Also, by the way, that song that I just played, the Bargain Hunters or something, I think it's called. It's from the game Farming Simulator 19. I hope that there is no copyright on it or anything like that, because first of all, I really dig it. I really dig it. It's really catchy for me. I really like it. But prior to actually putting it in the stream, I did look on YouTube, and someone else has literally uploaded the entire feature length song, like what I just played, and there wasn't even a thing down there saying like, oh, this song belongs to this artist, blah blah blah. So I figured, okay, it's probably safe to use. But Giants, please don't sue me if you have, done it. Because I would really like to keep using it for my streams. And I know a guy who makes music, and I hope he can make similar music. So I don't have just 3 songs, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to, I'd say, 14 separate ones. So it's not just the same freaking thing every time. It's 14 separate ones. And I literally have on my stream deck, I have a folder. It says music, and when I go into that folder, I can press the button like Bargain Hunters or Bouncy, whatever, and the rhythm. I can press all those things. I really like that. I can show you. If it shows. You can see there's a particular folder called music. It's right there. And if I press it, you see there are three songs there, and I'd love to get some more in there because why the hell not? Hey! No, but also if I have like 14 songs in there, it's could potentially help out, and it's could potentially help out. Bye bye. It could pardon me, I'll explain what that was. That could actually legitimately, instead of me needing to like actually play music like the same freaking thing all the time, which is exactly why I don't have background music yet, because I'm not going to use music that's on Spotify, because hell no, I don't want a single DMCA strike. No. Except for when playing O's, because hell, the music is literally in the game. The game is available for free, as is the music. Like, really? Sorry, I smacked the microphone. Like, really? So yeah, okay. That is a perfect thing. That was a perfect one to clip. What's the timestamp on that? Ooh. Again, an hour with 30. I'm gonna clip that. I'm gonna clip that because why the hell not? So yeah, basically that. But I think it's a really catchy song. I don't really have effects though, because the effects I did have, well, they just weren't very spectacular. But I can tell you one thing. I can tell you one thing. There's more interaction in the chat. Oh my god, that's just such a stupid way to say it. I think. Anyway, if there quite simply were more people watching, like if there were, or if there were people like subbing or following and the little pop-up would show, and I'd see that and I'd hear that, I could be like, oh yay, and I'd go to the effects folder and like click. You catch my drift. Believe it or not, but Bebehan actually literally does the same thing, and I think it's actually pretty sweet because I think it's actually pretty sweet as in neat, pretty cool, because that is a form of community interaction, which is exactly the kind of thing I want to do, and I may not be a girl, a woman. And I may not have, I may not be the most spectacular guy out there, but I'm just doing my thing. I'm just doing my thing, man. I'm just doing my thing, folks, because you know what? Why not? It's a free platform. If I want to stream, I stream. I want to do it. If eventually, if I keep doing it long enough, eventually there will be someone who will watch my streams. And you know what? The more I do this, the better my presentation gets. The better my presentation skills get, the better my streaming skills get, and the less I will eventually stutter and stuff. So, which is exactly why I'm starting out with 2 streams. Yeah, this looks like a piece. No, but with 2, like two streams a week, because it's too much work for me to stream 5 days a week, because come on, I'm not gonna stream 5 days a week, not now. No. I will eventually, hopefully, but not now, just way too much. But yeah, two times a week seems sufficient for me right now. You know what I should probably do? I think I should share my Twitch channel in my big server, which has over 530 members now. I should do that. But I've been wanting to do that, but there's one thing on my mind and one thing that's bothering me. You see, I've been sort of a cunt. Sort of a cunt. CUNT. Pardon me, Twitch, but that's just my style. If you don't like it, I'm terribly sorry. But anyway, I've been kind of a mean guy lately. Not because I wanted to, but really because I'm getting really tired of this of answering the same questions time after time after time again. Like come on, come on. The question is literally written down in the frequently asked questions. Read the frequently asked questions. It's there for a fucking reason. Hopefully I don't burn my throat. Cheers, by the way. Excellent coffee. Even though it's just a Senseo. You know what? I'll just show you. I'll just show you what kind of coffee I drink. Oh, you sure as hell are hearing that. But that's what I drink. Senseo, espresso. These are literally the strongest the strongest pads available for that particular type of coffee machine. Yes, Senseo is yes, it's a brand, but it's not in particularly a brand of coffee. No, it's actually a type of coffee machine. It's actually it's legit a type of coffee machine, and I use that because it's simple as hell. It's simple, and I'm lazy. Real simple. The more simple it is, the better. You know what they say about lazy people? About lazy people, though, the lazy people will find an easy way to do things, and that's definitely true. If I know one thing, lazy people do definitely find the easy way to do things. Also known as me, because I am lazy. But when I do something, I usually tend to do it all in one go. Because then eventually you get going, and then you're already done. And you're like, oh man, you don't really have that if you suddenly have a lot to do. So that's one way I kept myself awake today, because I literally, I mentioned that earlier in the stream, but I tidied up my room a bit. I tidied up my room and stuff, and I've been so lazy. I've been so lazy. Yeah, this may seem real nasty, but I literally didn't take out my trash for 3 weeks. That's how lazy I was. Oh god, the mold inside of that trash can. Fucking hell. I'm gonna clean that out tomorrow under the shower head with hot water. Oh yes. Hold my breath. Jesus. Believe it or not, when I took that thing out, when I took a garbage bag out, you know what I did? I literally put off cleaning gloves, mechanic gloves, went outside, pulled it out outside. Because there was mold on the fucking thing. Yeah, I know what most people would say. You should take out the trash earlier. I know, but I just didn't want to do it. Call it being lazy. And not being in the particularly a right mindset for anything. I'm gonna tell you one thing though. There's one thing I wanna try to get back into tomorrow, and that is modding. I've been missing it a little bit, so I'm gonna try to get back into it tomorrow. Yeah. Now I realized I've been digressing. What I said earlier was, I've been thinking about, sharing my Twitch channel on my big Discord server. I suppose that's an easy way to probably get like 5 or 10 followers. Really for me, but really on the other hand, I really do not want people, like pointing fingers at me in the live stream, because I know what it does with me. It pisses me off, and I don't want to get pissed off in a live stream, unless I'm purposely ranting like I did earlier on Apple. But unless I'm purposefully ranting, I do not like to get pissed off. I do not like the feeling of being pissed off and stuff. So I kind of want to prevent that. But then again, does it really matter? Be the bigger man. Don't let it bother you. Be the bigger man. Don't let it bother you. That's the way to do it. That's true, but sometimes that's insanely difficult. And if you're like me, I've had a history of anger management issues. I have a short fuse. Probably not the greatest combination if you're gonna put me in a room full of people who are purposely trying to piss you off. There's one thing you can't piss me off with though, because I really couldn't give a damn less about it. A very classic joke is when someone says something and the other person replies with "your mom," you know that you can try as much as to insult me with that one, but you know what? I really do not care because that doesn't hurt me. You want to know why? Because my mother is literally the worst person I've ever known. And I'm saying this in public. She's literally the worst person I've known in my entire life. And I'm happy that I have not that I haven't spoken to her for well over 2 years now. And if it wasn't for my sister, I would have been dead. So that then now we go way back when I was in that period, when I was in that period with the suicidal thoughts. That was back then. That was when I was really learning to get to know who my mother really was. And no, this is definitely not. Don't make an example out of me by saying, "Oh, this is how you should talk about your mother," because that's absolutely not true. This is not absolutely not how you should talk about your mother, how about your parents. But you know what? I have such I have such a broken relationship with my mother that I am perfectly comfortable with saying that I don't have a mother. When I technically do, I don't. So basically, a more correct way to say it is I have a mother, but I do not have a mom. Simple as that. And some people will probably say, you shouldn't be sharing that online. But you know what? It's old news already. It's old news already. Plenty of people know about it. And you know what? Sooner or later you're gonna be giving advice to someone who is in exactly the same situation as you, and then you tell them that advice, and they're gonna be like, "Where'd you learn that?" And then you're like, "Yeah." So it's gonna get out sooner or later anyway. So why not be upfront about it? I really don't have much to hide. Should I say it that way? There are some things I want to keep private, for obvious reasons, because everyone does that. But really though, I'm a really open person. I like talking about myself. I like talking about my past. I like talking about what I want to do and stuff like that. I like to talk. I just like to talk. So yeah, I like to talk. And you know, and thumb smack the mic. And it's a difficult situation to be in. I got away from my parents when I was 16. So that's been 3 years now. I was suicidal at 16. That was literally the worst period of my life. Literally. Right up until until the moment right up to the moment that my big sister saved my life, basically. She saved my life by taking me in. I moved places. My mother didn't want me to literally prohibited me from being able to visit my sister. But you know what? I looked up the law, And unless there's a specific court ruling that says so, that I can that says that I can't look up any member of my family, she cannot prohibit me from visiting my sister. So, with law by my side, I visited her anyway. And as a cover story, I just said that I went to my friend. Eventually, they found out. Guess how they found out? Because they were stalking me. Literally. And, yeah. Eventually things got out of my hand. My mother wouldn't let me back in. So I went back to my sister's place, told the story. She took me in. Next few weeks, I few fights and stuff. You know, like arguments, over the phone mostly, and then I picked up my stuff, and then came the first phase of the recovery process. Getting rid of the suicidal thoughts. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That took at least a quarter of a year. That took a while. I did well in school though, but that made sense because I would literally. It was so bad. I would literally rather be at school than I'd be at home. When I was home, I really sat there, and I was like, when the hell can I leave this place? So, but yeah, that was the worst period of my life, and not everyone should be talking about it like this, but you know what, I am, because it's gonna be out in the open sooner or later anyway. And I haven't really mentioned any specifics yet anyway, so still a lot I can tell. It's just the tip of the iceberg. Trust me, just the tip of the iceberg. And I must say, I'm not all that holy myself either, but you know, if you really think about it, no human really is. No person really is. So, yeah, no human really is. No human really is holy in the aspect that they have truly never done anything wrong. Because you know what, making mistakes is what makes you human. It's literally what makes you human. Oh well. No, okay. I pretty much have done everything on my stream bulletin right now. I could maybe no. I'm not gonna do that. That's a bad idea, Greg. That's a very, very, very bad idea. I don't know. I have probably something else in mind. This is my thinking phase, sort of. Okay, let's see. Is there anything on Discord? Oh no. Oh yeah, that's what. Now remember. So I very softly said bye a while back, but that was because someone left the Discord server I managed. And you know what? That's perfectly fine, because we have a total of 533 members anyway. It doesn't seem like much, but it's not really that small of a community. There just isn't a lot of activity for a server that size. We are literally, my main server, Discord server, is literally big enough to be a Discord partner server, except there just isn't enough activity. Oh, okay. I think I may have an idea. Everything, my face probably became blue. Oh, there's nothing here. Okay, that makes it easy for me then. So, yeah. Oh, God. People, so, on the one hand, I've been saying that, oh God, another voice crack, awesome. On the one hand, I've been saying that I don't really want to talk about my modding career that much, but you know what? Hell, the shortcut for the team, for my modding careers team, is literally in my username. Oh wait, what? Oh yeah, link tree. That's correct. It's That's the problem with being tired. You start. I start at least. I start, seeing things the way they not really are. No, I don't really. I don't start hallucinating. I don't read enough sometimes. Um, but hell, the three letters GMT are literally in my username on Twitch, and half of the Twitch channel's banner is white with the logo of the GTG mods team on it. So there really is no reason as to why I shouldn't. Because hell, I am advertising it in some way. But oh well, you know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this on stream. Uh, bunch 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 of people have been waiting for the release of the newest update of the Garfield T Series expansion pack. The hotfix mainly that fixes the problems that the Garfield T Series expansion pack has ever since BeamNG Drive version 0.26.x came out. Except the problem is that we, the GGD mods team, are literally outsource this stuff. The stuff. No, we outsource the Lua coding, and the Lua coding is done by another BeamNG Drive modder known as No Cargo. He's an official partner of ours, by the way. Thus, and because he just doesn't prefer to use Steam, because, well, not everyone agrees with the terms and conditions of Steam. Trust me, I've been there. It looks like the BeamNG may be slowly phasing out Humble Bundle because the game is literally too big for them to automatically upload to Humble Bundle. What does that mean? Well, that means that whenever there's an update to BeamNG Drive, they have to manually send the update, the new actual game package, the new game install and stuff. They have to send that to the Humble Bundle team. The Humble Bundle team has to verify it, so there are no viruses on it. And then they finally put that upload that new version on Humble Bundle. Problem is, Humble Bundle isn't particularly small, and that can take a while. Hell, No Cargo has been waiting over a week now to get a newer version of BeamNG Drive version 0.26.x. Anyway, the newer hotfixes of BeamNG Drive. He's been waiting to get his hands on those because the initial game release was buggy, very buggy, according to him, and if there's one thing I know, you may have the correct version to work with. If the game code itself is a buggy, then I would not. Then I wouldn't. Then I'd rather wait, and then I'd rather wait for a more stable version, because buggy game code, building something that's buggy will create a buggier product. That's just how it works. If you want something to that if you do, and we at the GT mods team, we preferably just want things to work. You install it, it works. It's not always that case, but it is our aim, pretty much. Um, for the most part, that's quite literally what the Gravity Series expansion pack and its prerequisites do. You you install the project or the mod with its prerequisites, and 9 out of 10 times it just plain works as it should. The problem is with buggy game code, that just will not happen. And because of that, we are still waiting on fixed code for the Cavalry series expansion pack and stuff. And well, we could technically release the hot fixes of the parts 2F2 and the comments mod earlier, but we don't want to. We want to release them all simultaneously. We want to release them all simultaneously because that means we can do everything in one go, and just more efficient to do it that way. Disadvantage is people have to wait longer, but then again, hey, it's just a mod. It's not like it's your life. You can live without it for a few days, weeks, maybe even a month or two, and that'll only make it that little bit more special that'll only make it that little bit more special when you finally get your hands back on it again. I know how that feels. I know how that feels. That much I can tell you. And believe it or not, I'm in the same boat as you. My team are in the same boat as you. We are all waiting on the updated and fixed code. But it just takes time, man. It just takes time, folks. Just be patient. Just be patient. It's coming. We just don't know when, but it's definitely coming. As soon as possible. There is no ETA, but it's coming as soon as possible. That could literally be tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, or I don't know. It could be even longer than that, but we assume it's not gonna take that long. But if it does, I don't think No Cargo is gonna wait around that long either, because No Cargo and I have had conversations about I did tell him about a possible rumor that I heard about that possibly BeamNG going to officially drop Humble Bundle. I mean, it only makes sense. It's slowly becoming even more of a hassle to even release like hotfixes. A hotfix is just that, a hotfix. It's supposed to be released very quickly after the initial version. That's literally what a hotfix is for. Yeah. Anyway, it just takes. Yeah, it's not as easy as it seems. And as for those who are just gonna go ahead and say, you shouldn't replace vanilla parts. Do I look like I give a frick? I don't. We don't, because it's not in the goal of the mod. Get that through your skull. Okay? If you don't like it, just don't use it. The same story, the same apply. Literally the same exact thing applies to paid mods. There are these people out there who are literally saying that mod creators who release public mods are corrupting the community. And I'm like, excuse me? Excuse me? That's not what's happening. Believe me, fella. It isn't those modders who are putting a mod up for sale, as a paid mod. They aren't corrupting the community. You are, by saying that they do. You're literally spreading unnecessary hatred. You are basically creating a pandemic, so to say. You're basically creating creating a little virus in a community. Yeah, that's what you are doing. You're planting and creating a little virus, and more people will start to think the same way, because they don't like paid mods. There's a sheer difference in between hating it, saying that it corrupts the community, and disliking it. There's a big difference. We as the GTD mods team, all of our prime projects, our pride and joy, they're all for free, made available for free. But we also have a Patreon page, because we do like to have some financial support, because creating mods isn't free, and having financial support to back it up from the community is not only a sign that tells us, hey, the community likes what we're doing, keep going. It also allows us to expand. It allows us to get better at what we do. It allows us to grow. And as a little thank you for that, we also offer Patreon exclusive content. And the people who then say that the very same people that say that paid mods corrupt the community are also saying, would also immediately hate any modder that does that. But seriously, think about it for a second. Think about it, yeah? Think about it. Just think about it for a second, yeah? You create a mod for a video game you like, yeah? It grows well. You get more skilled. You meet another person who wants to work with you. You create a project. Eventually, you create a team. It's exactly how it happened with us. And eventually, you get skilled enough to use more advanced software, like literally moving on from painting textures, like literally just like grabbing a copy, grabbing an image of like a leather texture and painting that over some ambient occlusion bake in painting that over some ambient occlusion bake in what's it called, in GIMP or Photoshop or Paint.net for that matter, and I'm moving over to software that literally just allow you to texture in 3D space, like Adobe Substance Paint in 3D. That stuff costs money. Well, we are lucky that we already are using so let's look at. I'm not going to say we. you're lucky enough to, you just happen to use Blender, which is free and industry standard. So that's no problem with that. But there are also other people out there who, for example, use 3ds Max or Maya, paid software. That software has to be paid for. Stuff adds up really quick. And sometimes you can release all of your stuff for free. So pretty much you release all of your stuff for free, but you're literally running at a loss. Yeah. You're thinking, it would be nice. It would be nice to, if the community could, help out a little bit to make it more worthwhile. You launch a Patreon page, or Ko-Fi, or whatever. If we launch the Patreon page, you launch a Patreon page. You do your thing on the Patreon page, and you say, hey, if we reach 15 members, 15 patrons, will make a little exclusive thingy as a little thank you. That's the sheer difference. That Patreon exclusive content is literally that Patreon exclusive content. It's there for the Patreon users who want to use it, because we made it, or you made it, as a thank you to those users for supporting you and your efforts. There is a big difference. Just think about that, yeah? Think about that. Think about what you say and write before you actually say something or write something, because it could save you from a lot of trouble. And it's probably not very wise of me to say this as a relatively well-known modder. But then again, I'm not really wrong. But to cut to the chase, if you don't like paid content, just don't pay for it. Just don't pay for it, man. Just don't pay for it. Simple as that. It's very black and white, but that's also just how the world works. I have always said, the gray area is for people who do not. The gray is for people who do not want to or cannot see the truth. Most likely for almost always the former, who don't want to know or see or feel the truth. That's the gray area. Every single question, when formulated correctly, can be answered with a yes or a no. Simple as that. That's how the world works. Black and white. It either is or it either isn't. Something is either true or it isn't. That's how it works. The moment I realized that, my life got a lot easier. Like a lot easier. I won't even lie about that. I won't lie at all, but I most certainly won't lie about that. That definitely helped me out. Realizing that. Thinking about this, I should probably make a video on the GGG Mods Team channel and YouTube channel and make a video statement about it. Hopefully that will be enough. Let's see. Okay, but you know what? We've been 2 hours and 18 minutes into this stream already, so I think it's time that we play some games. It's been a while. Also want to wrap up soon, so I just want to play some games before I wrap up. So I'm gonna put my OBS on the other screen. And yes, I am biting my lip. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Not yet, at least. I really don't know what game to play right now. I'm also really tired, so it makes perfect sense. I'm sure as hell I'm not going to play O's because I tried that before streaming and my god, my brain just could not keep up. I mean, I could keep up with the movements, but when I was tapping, I was like a few milliseconds too late every single freaking time. Hmm. Oh, you know what? There's not a lot. I'm not really. I'm really tired actually. Now, it's now really starting to set in a little bit. Okay, I don't think I will do it. I don't think I will do a game today, but I definitely will. I will definitely will on. I will. Jesus, this is what I mean. So yeah, it's starting to crash now. I definitely will on the next stream. That's for sure. That's on Sunday. No, not Sunday. Wednesday. Today's Sunday. Pardon me. That will be on Wednesday. Then I will definitely play a game. Most likely, probably gonna be Farming Simulator or American Truck Simulator. I kind of wanted to play Farming Simulator now, or American Truck Simulator right now. Problem is, I'm extremely tired, so I'm gonna have a lot of trouble just keeping the truck or the tractor on the road. So, even though that will be sure, even though that will be really funny to look at, I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm not gonna risk doing that. So, yeah, I think that's it for now. I think that's it for now, folks. I don't really have a lot of talk. Don't really have a lot to talk about anymore. But I do have one thing I can say. Please, okay, please, please follow. Please follow. It really helps me out. And the next time when I stream, which is on Wednesday at approximately 8 p.m. Western European time, which is 6 p.m. approximately 6 p.m. UTC, Universal Coordinated Time. I will be streaming. I will be streaming again, and please by all means, I'd say, please by all means, I'd say go for typing the exclamation mark socials in the chat, like I am doing now. So yeah, definitely do join the Discord server, because if you join the Discord server, you get the option of being notified when there's a stream going on, or when there's a new YouTube upload. You will be notified there. Optionally, by the way, if you opt in for that. I'm really getting tired. I'm noticing that right now. But yeah, by all means, do anything you can to help me out, and hopefully I'll see you on the next stream. Cheerio.